Welcome back to Dark Tales 60. Here we explore the most mysterious crimes, unsolved cases, and haunting legends from history. Tonight's story takes us back to the 19th century, into the cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean where a ship was found drifting without its crew. This is the chilling mystery of the Mary Celeste. In December 1872, a chilling discovery was made in the vast Atlantic Ocean. A merchant ship named the Mary Celeste was found drifting aimlessly between Portugal and the Azores. She was still seaworthy, her sails partly set, her cargo untouched, and her supplies abundant. But the most important thing was missing: the crew. Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife, their young daughter, and 7 experienced sailors had vanished without leaving a single trace. The lifeboat was gone, but no signs of violence, no clear struggle, and no bodies were ever found. The Mary Celeste had become a ghost ship, and her mystery would haunt history forever. The ship's story began in New York just weeks earlier. Loaded with over 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol destined for Genoa, Italy, the Mary Celeste set sail with confidence. Captain Briggs was known for his discipline and skill, and the crew was considered reliable. But when the vessel Dei Gratia spotted her on December 4th, abandoned and eerily quiet, the world was introduced to one of the most baffling maritime mysteries of the 19th century. Inside the ship, investigators found personal belongings neatly stored, the captain's log updated just days before, and even food on the tables. Everything suggested the crew had been living their lives normally until something forced them to leave in haste. For days, nothing seemed unusual. Yet the question remains: what terror or danger could have driven trained sailors and a disciplined captain to abandon a perfectly good ship in the middle of the ocean? Theories soon flooded newspapers across Europe and America. Some suggested piracy, but nothing was stolen. Others suspected mutiny, but there were no signs of violence. A more chilling idea was that alcohol fumes from the cargo might have leaked, creating a fear of explosion and forcing the captain to order an evacuation. Yet why did the crew not return once they realized the ship was safe? Some even whispered about sea monsters or supernatural forces, adding a layer of gothic fear to an already haunting tale. Over the years, the legend of the Mary Celeste grew darker. Writers, including Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, used the mystery as inspiration for chilling short stories. Each version added new twists, murder plots, conspiracies, and ghostly apparitions. But these stories blurred the line between fact and fiction, making it even harder for historians to separate truth from myth. What really happened aboard the Mary Celeste remains buried beneath centuries of speculation. What makes the case unforgettable is not only the disappearance but the silence that followed. No survivor ever came forward. No journal was found floating in the sea, and no wreckage of the lifeboat was ever discovered. It is as if the crew simply vanished into thin air, leaving behind an eternal question mark carved into the waves of the Atlantic. For a ship so full of life and purpose to suddenly drift without its people, it challenges our understanding of reality itself. The Mary Celeste was eventually salvaged and sailed again, but her reputation was forever stained. Sailors whispered that she was cursed, a vessel doomed to carry shadows rather than men. Every time her name appeared in maritime records, it carried with it the ghost of unanswered questions. Was it a tragic accident, a calculated crime, or something beyond human comprehension? Even now, more than 150 years later, the story captures the imagination. Modern theories still cannot explain the fate of Captain Briggs and his crew. Scientists argue about weather patterns, sudden waterspouts, or dangerous shifts in cargo. Historians point to human error or secret foul play. But all these ideas end in the same haunting silence. No proof, no bodies, no final chapter. The Mary Celeste remains a riddle sealed by the sea. It reminds us how vast and unforgiving the oceans are, and how quickly human certainty can dissolve into endless mystery. She is not just a ship. She is a symbol of the unknown, a floating question that history has never been able to answer. Perhaps that is why the Mary Celeste endures in our imagination. Because we fear the unknown, but we are also drawn to it. We crave explanations, but sometimes the universe denies us closure. And in that denial, legends are born. The ghost ship sails on, not in the waters of the Atlantic, but in the minds of all who dare to look into her story. Subscribe now for more dark tales, unsolved crimes, and mysterious stories every week. Enter the shadows with us, because some mysteries are meant to last forever.